Morning everyone. Welcome to a review for this week from the 7th of August till the 12th, basically. This is the week uh just after NFP. So we had NFP in that week and then this week. So as the last week's review, I did say that that week of NFP is very choppy in terms of it's a matter of get out in the market. After that week, the first week of a month, then the market starts to stabilize, which it's gonna do in this following weeks, basically, in this 1, 2, 3 weeks. So what has occurred after NFP, right? Okay. So yesterday there was holidays in Canada. I mean Monday. And then yesterday there was some USD news. Today, 4:30 crude oil. There's a holiday, obviously in South Africa, and then tomorrow is the day for big movements because the CPI there and job claims. All this is happening at 2:30, so the big movements are gonna be there, right? So we know that we should be looking for trades mostly on Thursday and then Friday PPI. With that said, let's get straight to it, right? So the first thing I always do, I look at the dollar and try and figure out what's happening with the dollar, right? So we've had some support, resistance, resistance. Okay. So when price came here at resistance of this trend line, I really expected a breakout to happen because it touched 1, 2, 3 times. I would assume after the touch breakout, but it still held, right? So with it holding, price came back to this zone, this resistance zone, and touched again to form a double top. So once a double top is formed, that means that's an area of key resistance. So that's when then I'm seeing bearish momentum on USD, right? So I'm expecting USD to be weak in this week, right? Um, this is going to be short because really I'm not too sure what's happening. The market has been a bit volatile in a strange way. So when I see something that's not clear, I tend to stay away from the market. One thing you need to know is you don't have to trade every day. You just have to find, one good setup in a week or two good setups in a week can pay you. If you try and trade every day, you'll make money and then you'll lose money. Then at the end of the week, you have nothing, when you try and trade every single day. So you must have an eye for the stuff to see that the market is acting. You have to see, look at the market and see if it's behaving in a manner that you're not understanding. Stay away from it until it makes sense. So that's what I've been doing. Hence the video I would have sent yesterday, but I decided I don't see what the market is actually. It's not giving me the painting of what it wants to do. So I'll wait until it does. And it has shown me today, between now at night and today in the morning that okay, this is what it wants to do. And what it wants to do is uh dollar weakness. So with that now being noted that dollar is going to be weak, so I'm looking for pairs where I can sell the dollar. That's how I trade. So here I am with USD JPY, right? USD JPY, I am expecting price to come down, to these levels. to touch the bottom of this trend line. I was expecting the sell, obviously, till there, but obviously it wasn't gonna just fly all the way just down till there. It had to fly, retrace, and then, but that's what I'm expecting. Price to come here, right? Now, with that said, price dropped. It did a pullback, and obviously, as I said with dollar, once I see something like a double top at a certain area, it's not forming higher highs, then I know that there's a change of direction coming. And that's when now I'm looking for weakness in USD JPY. So weakness in dollar and strength in JPY. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for sells on USD JPY, right? Which agrees with my dollar index, right? So entries wise, if you've been with me, you will know that I look for price to break below my moving averages on H1. So it's playing above this moving average, right? I'm looking for a candle close below. Then I'm confident to sell until there. Then once it touches there and breaks that, then I continue to the downside. So my first point of entry is I need a break out of that, because you can see from this moving average that price has been bouncing on it for the longest time. So it's just a matter of when do I enter? I enter below that moving average, and then I'll be safe for those sells. So I must be patient, not just jump in because I see sells, but wait for that breakout, right? So that's what I'm waiting for on that one. So USD JPY, I'm looking for sells, right? Okay. Oh, and then this is GBP USD. I saw that momentum in terms of price went up. Price was dropping for the longest time. Then it went up, retraced, hit the 61.8, which is this is the zone that I look for. Hit it before, went up, hitting it again in the zone, 61.8, and I'm expecting a push higher than to break this high. So I'm looking for that to happen, for GBP to be strong, USD to be weak, right? So I'm looking for buys on GBP USD because at the 61.8 zone to the upside. So as I'm looking for that upside, I would love to see, this was a breakout. I would love to see a retest and then for it to drop. So I'm hoping it comes and retests somewhere here on top. But for now, that's my target there, my safe target at this level, 1.28337. Right? So that's what I'm looking for on GBP USD. And then we have gold. Gold as well. There was a inverse head and shoulders, right? Here at the zone here. Right. So there was a breakout at that zone. I expected a retest there, it to push further up, but it's hunting. I believe in stop hunts in terms of if there's too many buyers at a certain level, the market needs to remove them before continuing in its direction. So it went a bit lower down, but it won't break this level as far as I believe. And then I'm expecting buys from here to the upside. Right. So I'm expecting buys to the upside until that zone. And that's also concurs with that we are selling USD. So I'm expecting buys. So when these buys will start happening, I am not sure whether it will wait for CPI or it will move before CPI. So let's see what happens at CPI, which is happening tomorrow, right? 2:30. But we're in a bullish zone. I believe it can play around the zone until tomorrow if it wants to, or it's gonna move out of the zone. So like I do say, I always look for one of the moving averages to be broken on H1. None of these moving, you see, every time price comes to that moving average, it rejects. You see, so until there's a candle close above here, I'm not buying it. So I'll wait. Okay. So yeah, that's what you're looking for buys there. And then this is USD ZAR. I did expect price to reject here, touch there, then touch there. Price broke out. And I'm looking to see what will happen here. Now, why I'm looking for possible sells in this zone is because of those moving averages again. Price has been bouncing on top of this moving average, right? It broke below candle. Then now it's retesting that moving average. Then I'm expecting now sells to occur. So I'm looking to sell from there because for the first time, there was a candle close below that moving average. And I'm looking to see now breakout retest, will it drop? So I'm just monitoring that. So let me move this a little bit up, right? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for drops because I said USD weakness. So I'm looking for a drop there. Indices. Indices long term, I'm looking for sells, right? But you will notice that when price hits this moving average, the red one, it usually pushes higher up, So it touched that moving average there. There's a good possibility that price might go higher today before the drop. So I'm kind of looking for buys here on these indices, but there's some, like, look at these weeks, how on this day price spiked that high and came to close there. This price yesterday spiked that low and closed halfway through that whole move. So there's a lot of volatility happening here. So it's not easy to trade it when it's doing this. And it's in between two moving averages. So I'm it's like a consolidation because look, it's back to the upside of that moving average, it's back to the downside of that moving average. So it's just in the middle. And I don't like this. When I see things that are consolidating, trading something that's consolidating is bad. So I'm trying to avoid Nasdaq for that reason for now. Then let's go to US30. So yes, I'm looking for sales on US30. It's also did the same thing that Nasdaq did. There's a spike to the upside, closed lower. Spike to the downside yesterday, closed high, So something is happening here. It's as if price is trying to get rid of, when there's big spikes like this, I assume that it's trying to get rid of retail traders before it moves in its direction. So be careful. I don't think indices are a good thing to trade at the moment until the direction is clear. But we are looking for pairs on it. So even today's candle is playing below that moving average, so that's a good sign of a drop. So one thing, this is H1. One thing, when the moving averages are pointing sideways on H1, that means that's a consolidating market. So we are basically in a consolidation. Like I said, we are kind of consolidating with indices, just spikes up, spikes down. So I'm just gonna drop block in that zone that, you know, price is pointing sideways. You see, the moving averages here were pointing down. So we knew that we're in a downtrend. This is pointing sideways. You can see sideways. So we're in a range basically. So a range will, if you try trading a range, you have better chances of blowing your account. So to be safe, I'd rather wait for a breakout on either side of this box before I start trading this. So indices for now, till it breaks that consolidation, I'm not touching for the safety of my account. I'm not gonna just trade it because I'm excited to trade. I trade when there's good setups, and it's not showing a good setup at the moment. It's just showing a range. What I can do is if it touches this top, I will sell there at the top because I'm looking for bearish momentum. But in the middle of nowhere, we don't trade. So yeah, that's what we're looking for this week. So indices for now, let them go, but we're looking for USD weakness across all pairs. So there's other pairs that you might look at, but look for selling the USD in those pairs, you know. That's all I can say for now. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm seeing in the markets for this week. Not very clear, but I guess it's because it's waiting for the CPI to happen to do its big move. So yeah, anticipate that tomorrow at 2:30. Okay, so cheers and have a profitable week.